Welcome back. My name is Nick with Vanguard Arms. Today we have Chris joining us. He is our resident historian and overall gun specialist, and he is going to be walking through some of the more interesting aspects of these pieces that we have in front of us today. So Chris, I'll let you take it from here, and at the end I'll ask you some questions I think the audience would benefit from knowing the answers from.
All right, Nick, thanks. So what we have here are 5 really cool, really rare guns that you probably haven't seen imported to the United States ever, or very often at least. Starting from my left to right, we have the P226 X6 Supermatch black and white, the P226 X6 PPC black and white, the P226 X5 Supermatch black and white, P226 Silverdust, and the P226 Classic X6 Classic black and white. So 4 X6s, 1 X5. The X5 is the one here in the middle. All of them are obviously from the same sort of theory and the same kind of line, but they all take elements from other series of guns. For instance, the Supermatches, actually all of them except for the Silverdust, have the sort of Supermatch style of grips. The PPC has that, long-range pistol target sight. You have the Classic has your very standard control parts, standard for the Mastershop, as does the Silverdust. But you have the Supermatches and the PPCs, because they're more competition and target pistols, they're going to have enhanced control parts, such as you see the thumb rest style of slide release, the enlarged magazine release there. These are all things enhanced to make the gun more comfortable to shoot. They're also going to have the flat face trigger versus what the Classic would have over here being that curved trigger.
Interesting.
All adjustable, all single action only, but the difference in all of these is just those minor little details that you don't see. Like I said about the grips, you can see the Silverdust has a more specialized polymer grip, and I'm not sure if this is polymer or carbon fiber inlay on it. I'm guessing polymer, made to look like carbon fiber.
Oh, it feels like carbon fiber, actually.
It does.
That before. Interesting, just a little side take on this. So the Silverdusts, they generally come with, I believe, the same grips as the Classic.
Okay.
This was a special run of the Silverdusts, where, from what I'm told, I believe it's under 40 pieces produced with these. They're called enhanced Silverdust grips.
Okay.
They were special ordered, and they just didn't turn out a lot of them. So
they're really cool. And of all of these, the exact number isn't really known on how many they were made, because they were so specialized. They were very custom, specialized, limited run. The Mastershop estimates that of all of these versions, with the exception of the Silverdust, but all of the Supermatch and the PPC black and whites, there was probably less than 25 of each version made, totaling for maybe 100 to 120 combined amongst all the different versions they have. So they're incredibly rare guns, and I mean, they look phenomenal.
I can tell you from doing this for a while, I have seen the Silverdust out there on the market before. I have never seen a PPC or a Supermatch prior to us acquiring them. Not in Europe, not on the American market, nowhere. Yeah. So
when we pulled them out of the shipment, he and I both kind of stopped dead in our tracks, and we were just, the first one we found, we were just kind of shocked, and we were very confused. We didn't know what they were.
I remember that. That was a good surprise.
Yeah.
So Chris, can you explain maybe some more detail on exactly the differences between a PPC and a Supermatch, theoretically and particularly on these pieces?
Yeah, so you can see that all the control parts are the same. The triggers are the same. The aesthetics, the grip, everything is the same. The one difference is going to be these sights. If you look at the sights on top of the PPC, they have, a different style of adjustability.
Oh yeah, it looks like they go up and down based on yardage, or what
yeah,
is that?
Exactly. So it's the kind of gun where when you're shooting it, if you're shooting at, say, 25 meters, you have it set for the one setting. You can adjust each setting individually. So if you shoot at 25 meters and then you regularly shoot at 100 meters as well, which there are pistol shooters who do that, then you can just flip it to your 100-meter setting and continue shooting incredibly easily. Whereas on the Supermatch, it's just your standard screw on top that adjusts it up and down. So it's the one setting, which is how most handguns are going to be. All of these have the same rear sighting system with the exception of that PPC. That's where this gets its name from, that came off the PPC style, or the PPC line.
Now, are all these X6s?
All of these are X6s with the exception of the middle one. This is an X5. And again, the only difference here is the X5 is a 5-inch barrel with that accommodating slide, and the X6 is a 6-inch barrel with the accommodating slide. So these guns were designed to either be in the safe or as the best gun that you can find for competition shooting, easily. And that's why they all have different features. You can pick from the the laminate wood grips that you would find on the Supermatches, or you can pick a polymer grip like we have here on the Silverdust. You can take that advanced rear sight. You can take the regular rear sight. The Classic over here is really the only one that I would say isn't designed for competition as much, because the Classic doesn't have all these enhanced control parts. So if we were to look at the Classic and compare it to the Supermatch, you look at the slide lock. The slide lock on the Supermatch is a lot bigger, because that's a thumb rest slide lock. The triggers are different. You have a flat face trigger on the Supermatch versus the curved one on the Classic. The hammer on your Supermatches are skeletonized.
Are these all Generation 2?
Yes.
Okay.
So these were some of the last guns that the Mastershop ever produced. We have a letter from the head of sales at the Mastershop assuring us, he's a personal friend of mine, and he's assured me that these guns, they were shipped in March of 2021.
Oh, wow. That's so even after the factory stopped producing.
That's when these were shipped.
Wow.
So these were some of the last guns they ever produced.
They had to have put them together probably maybe a few months back, and they were just sitting waiting to be shipped.
Either that, they were waiting for their final touches. Maybe they were just waiting for the shipping department to get moving, something, or they very well could have been not necessarily in production, but just not finished yet.
Interesting to think that these are the culmination of years of Mastershop production, and this is the
over a
absolute
decade.
last pieces that they produced.
Over a decade of Mastershop production, and we come to this.
That definitely has a historical value on it.
It's really cool. It is really cool. These are incredible pieces. They're sure to be the masterpiece of pretty much any collection out there.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite amongst these?
Yeah, I like the X6 Supermatch. That's the one I've been playing with the whole time. I just think it feels so great in the hand. I personally don't necessarily shoot enough changing distances to need that PPC rear sight. It's cool,
because
but I don't need it.
The PPC is mine. Like that.
You think so?
Yeah, because I do like distance shooting, as you know. Well, look, thank you for giving us all this valuable information on these guns, and if you guys like the video, please give us a like, subscribe, and check out our videos going forward.